Hi, everyone. My name is Maria, and I'm the stylister, and I'm going to be talking today about branding your amazing business. So if you have a question, I'm here in Bevy to answer while the seller session is going. I'll do my best to answer as many as I can, as thoroughly I can. All right. So today's agenda, we're going to be talking about the basics of what a brand is, the essential steps and the fundamentals of creating a brand, and how branding goes hand in hand with getting suppliers and being recognized as a reputable business. So let's get started. So my first question to you is, what is a brand? A brand is an image that a company defines itself with. It's the perception a company wants to give its potential and returning customers. By using a unique name, identifiable logo, and having a social media presence, a business can shape a person's perception of who they are and what they're about while connecting with a new or potential customer. What is your brand? How does a potential customer or supplier view you? What differentiates you from other sellers in the resale market? Do you look like a reputable business? What is your slogan or mission statement? I find that the resale market is a hard industry, not just because it's competitive, but because the people don't take us seriously as business owners. Whether it's meeting someone at a dinner party or even a family member or close friend, it can be a struggle to be viewed as a legitimate business. If the people in our lives don't take us seriously, how can we expect a stranger to? Let's change that with a few actionable items. The essential steps to a great brand, the foundation, if you will, is finding out who your customer is, building your trademark, and establishing yourself on social media with a consistent message and aesthetic. So let's get to it. Who is your customer? Location, gender, and age are the most important statistics. The average US citizen spends about $164 a day, with about $50 in disposable income. The majority of spenders are women. eBay doesn't tell us anything about who is buying, but with a little digging, we can find out some of our demographics on our own. Search your email for the sold messages. These emails help you find out where your buyer has lived and, generally speaking, their gender. You have to be 18 to have an account on eBay, so we can automatically assume they're an adult. Here's an example. During the pandemic, I sold very well in states that never shut down. I did a ton of business in states like Florida and Texas, and sold very little in Southern California and New York, which were my biggest demographics pre-pandemic. Now, with the restrictions easing, my demographics are changing again, and they're going back to where they used to be. Another way of finding out these demographics are from social media platforms. Once you've gotten likes and follows on Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest, you can get a good idea of who your customers are, as your customers or potential customers will follow you. Now that you know who your buyer is, you can develop your branding that they can connect with. Besides developing key messaging, you can properly stock items that you know that your buyers will want. And if you're active on Facebook and Instagram, with a solid following, you can create targeted ads to reach your demographics. You likely have a demographic, but don't know it. If there isn't one, revert to the average buyer in US. Let's move forward. We'll get into how to create your logo and header in a bit, but for now, know that creating a logo for your business is literally the most important thing you could do. If you decide to only do one thing after this presentation, create a logo. Also, create a custom header if you can. A good header displays your voice and your branding and what you're selling. It's a great way to stand out and establish yourself as a trustworthy business. If your customer hasn't looked at the logo, they should know what you're about from the header itself. Your header can be used on other seller platforms as well as social media platforms. Get on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a platform for business networking. Create a personal LinkedIn for your account and one for your business as well. I consider LinkedIn as much of a not so much of a social media platform, but more of a business networking platform. It's a great way to connect with all kinds of people about your business strictly. It's definitely a work-focused and not so much of a social-focused platform. It's an easy step to legitimize your company as well, and yourself even more. This is part of your branding, looking professional. Remember, you're legit. As of today, I've had 3 suppliers reach out to me and 2 recruiters try and hire me from other seller platforms. And I've networked with other countless sellers. There are groups on there as well, not like Facebook, but they do exist. Please don't discount LinkedIn. Do not discount LinkedIn. If you can invest, buy a domain and build a website. If you don't have the time to build your own, use a platform like Squarespace and pay the extra money to look professional. You can also build a website with Shopify, as eBay's integration works there as well. Selling separately on eBay also does establish you a bit even more, and Shopify has amazing features for it. Finally, if you know someone, ask for their help or get a discount from them to build it for you. You never know until you ask, and it doesn't hurt to ask either. Your website should have a homepage, a contact us, I'll get into that later, and finally, a link to your store or stores. A website really establishes your business. Join the masses and do it. It's well worth the time and effort to look like an established company, because guess what? You already are. It's time you look it. If you can't or don't want to invest in building a website, buy the domain for your store and have it just have the www literally jump to your eBay store. Or you could even have it jump to your link tree and then have it go from there. If you want to truly look legitimate to your potential customers and hopefully suppliers, get a website done and have a contact us section so people can reach out to you. Fundamentals of a great brand. You want a company name that represents you and your company. You also want a story that connects your business with your audience. It could be something as simple as using your name, your home state, and what you sell. For example, if you sell healing crystals and you're located in Ohio, you can name your store Buckeye Healing Crystals. I'm serious. But if you sell a bit of everything, estate sales, thrift finds, thrift shops, and garage sales are where you source, embrace it. If your name is Jeff, or maybe your last name is Farmington, you can always do Farmington's Estate Finds or Jenna's Rare Treasures. It doesn't need to be fancy or super unique, but it does need to get the message across. You need to make sure your branding is visually pleasing. Make sure your logo, color scheme, fonts, and design are not only easy to read, but soft on the eyes. A neon pink background with a hard-to-read black script can be off-putting and push away potential customer. Make sure the fonts you use are clear, and make sure the color or colors you use are soothing to the eye and fit your target market. You want your potential customers to linger and shop around, not X the screen. Finally, be consistent with your branding. If you have a logo and header, use it on all your platforms. This includes other seller platforms and your social media accounts. Customers correlate inconsistency as sloppy behavior and carelessness. If you care so little for your branding, you likely don't care about your customers. Let's break down each of these fundamentals. Name and story. So what is your current user ID and store name? Here's a big hint. It should be the same. And if they aren't, change one. Be consistent with your branding. What is your origin story? Maybe you used to thrift with Mima, or maybe you used to repair electronics with Dad. Maybe you're like me and don't have one at all. And that's fine too, as long as it gives you the space to make one. It really does. Whether you want to save the environment or just have amazing and rare finds, take a step back and think of your story. This helps build and develop your company name, branding, and if possible, slogan. You need to create a connection with your potential customers. How does Target connect with their buyers if they sell everything? What about Macy's and Bass Pro? These stores all sell a variety of things for a variety of people, yet they manage to connect with their customer. Just like our previous slide, they figured out their demographics and realized what resonates with them, and they built their imaging upon it. If your customers buy estate finds from you, express it in your branding. And if you sell everything as well, weave that into your business. If you've got a niche, incorporate it. Establishing your name and your story opens the door to potential suppliers. They see this and they see you as a reputable business, and they're more willing to do business with you. I know I'm repeating myself, but I want you to hear me when I say you look reputable to suppliers and you look reputable to potential customers, and they're more likely to approach you and be willing to talk to you when you find them as well. Visually pleasing. I use Canva for all my branding needs. You can use it for free, or you can pay for a monthly subscription that gives you access to pro content. Their pre-made logos are amazing, and all you basically need to do is find one you connect with. Put your store name and change the color to what you like, and you have a logo for your eBay store, Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, Twitter, and every other social media platform you're on. It keeps with the aesthetic that we discussed earlier, and it keeps it simple for you. Your designs are saved unless you delete them, so if you grow your social media presence or you decide to be on another platform, you can easily re-download and go. If you develop your own logo, be sure the sizing is 500 by 500 to prevent pixelation. You can create your own header backdrop or find a backdrop you can connect with. I also designed my store header, which again I use on multiple platforms on Canva as well. You can find a picture for free using a free image site like Upsplash, 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 or you can design one on your own if you have the time and talent. The ideal backdrop for an eBay store is 1200 by 270 dimensions. Take a picture of this. You need it. Facebook's backdrop sizing is a bit different, and Canva has a template for Facebook as well, so you can just convert it. Other seller platforms have backdrops or headers too, so you can use it there as well. I created one header image, yet I use it on my eBay store, my Facebook, my Twitter, my Trazy, and my Poshmark header backgrounds. Make sure your branding and color aesthetic is positive, clear, and easy on the eyes. Implement your logo and font so you can use it all in your branding as well. Consistency. All of these items, your logo, your backdrop header, and your color scheme should be consistent no matter where your buyer goes to shop from, and no matter where they go to find out about you. Anywhere you can find me, the branding is the same. Branding our business and having consistency are key for us to be successful in the reseller industry. It's growing, so we need to stay ahead of the pack. Let's jump to the next slide. Revenue growth due to brand consistency. This graphic is wildly telling on how important branding consistency is. Almost 74% of surveyed business owners stated that branding consistency with either modestly, substantially, or very substantially grew their revenue. Basically, 3/4 of businesses saw a revenue growth of at minimum 10% or a revenue boost of up to 20%. This speaks volumes. Customers want brand consistency when purchasing items. They feel secure in investing their money in your business, and they see you as a legitimate business and want to spend their money on you. Imagine doing all of this and then seeing a 10 to 20% bump in your sales with just uploading consistent branding. This is my website, thestylister.com. And the upper right-hand corner, the favicon is the L logo, which is an integral part of my branding, which you can see when you first click on my website. My website is simple and elegant, nothing too loud, too bold, or abrasive. My header does all the talking. In fact, it's the first thing that you see when you get into my website. And just below it, my company slogan, fun, unique, and chic. The font and sizes are easy to read, and I've created an aesthetically pleasing place for you to visit. If you don't believe me, check out my website and peruse it on your own time. All of my pages, my blog, my About Me, my social media, my free content, and everything all look the same. They're all consistent. Let's move on to my Instagram. Consistent branding on your social media accounts are crucial when developing your branding. See the L favicon again? All of this looks similar. All of this looks the same. Let's keep going. As you can see, everything is still aesthetically pleasing and everything matches and falls within my branding so far, just like the next slide. You can see my Bolo list and my Bolo list image. You can see the L part of my logo is right there. This is the 4th time you've seen it. All consistent. Let's move to my eBay store. So immediately, once again, you see the logo for my business on the far left. Also, you see my company name up top on the banner with my slogan and again, my trademark L. The font and color scheme are again consistent. My store name matches my username, The Style Lister. As of right now, we've been on my website, Instagram, and eBay store, and they all look similar, don't they? Let's go to the next one. These featured items all match aesthetically, and they hit all 4 of my demographics. All my customers, each of my type of my customer, one of those items hits them. You can see in my pictures, they all look similar and cohesive. And this might look like a minor detail, but I find this important to work with my messaging and store description. I put a mix of expensive, new, vintage, and pre-owned as each of these listings entices each layer of my demographics, which are women between the ages of 30 and 65 with disposable income who love either luxury, vintage, new, or want to save the environment by buying pre-owned. Each of these items hits one or more of my target audience. Trying to do that with yours. And if you don't have one, Put your best looking items up there. Let's click on the Dior saddlebag. With a tap, we're now in my listing. Does it look familiar? Almost like my website. Above is my brand logo, below it my slogan, and below that a button to my store that looks aesthetically similar to the rest of the listing. Everything here again is streamlined, organized, professional looking. This is the 7th time you've seen my logo. It takes a person 5 to 7 times before they recognize the brand. The next time you see my L logo, I hope you remember it. And when you develop yours, I hope your customer remembers it too. Let's check out that last half of my listing. So at the bottom, you can see my policies as well as my returns. All of my listings use a specific template so they all look the same, no matter what item you're buying or you're shopping for. My goal is to take my buyer out of the shopping on eBay mindset. Instead, shopping at the style lister. I do this by creating a consistent visual experience for my buyer. Are you on eBay or are you on my website? Imagine shopping online to your favorite department store and seeing the item formats for each of the item looking differently or not cohesive. Remember, when a potential buyer visits you and goes to your store, they're inside your business. Stand out from the rest. The next few slides are going to be solid examples of other sellers on eBay. So let's hit it. Max Marine Electronics nails it. Their store header has their name and their logo screams their brand. Let's check out their website. Same logo on the upper left-hand corner. Same theme, and when you look at their branding, it's totally on point. You know what they're selling, and you want to buy from here if you want to buy marine electronics. I hope you guys are taking notes. Let's go to the next. Knife Shop USA, the nation's best selection of quality knives. I love this branding. The red, white, and blue hits with the store name, and the black background allows the colors to stand out on their own. Their slogan, I wish I had it, and I don't sell knives. Like, honestly, their slogan, logo, header is one cohesive unit. They know who their demographic is, and I'm sure they love it. Are you ready for their website? Their site says it all. Their branding and consistency rocks it. What is their messaging? They sell knives, and they're in the USA. For your reference, this is a Shopify website, and you can see in the upper left-hand corner the favicon icon, and you can see on the far left the store logo and the left corner. And the color, theme, and fonts are all consistent. They're all the same. You know you're still at the same store you were in before. Consistent and professional. Let's keep going. Garb Safari. Though the previous brands and I are niched, one eBay store that isn't is Garb Safari. They nail it on the branding as well. Their 48 categories encompass a lot of what sells on eBay. They have a slogan, a splendid curation of wearables and hearables, which stands out. You see their store name in their header, and the logo on the left is consistent. He also lets us know that he's been selling on eBay since 1998. Garb Safari doesn't have a website, but let's hop to Instagram and you'll see he doesn't really need one. Perfect consistency. You know it's the same Instagram of the store we were just in. The tags and the profile align with what we just saw in the imaging again, and the imaging. And again, this is all stand out. Let's check out one more. Galaxy Ideals has a fantastic name and incredible header and logo. Love their collectibles, but I love their branding even more. Their logo brings you in. You know their store starts with a G, and their collage of items up top are fantastic. From Kylo's helmet to the collector cards and everything in between. Their store description nails it as well, and I love multiple exclamation points. So this is a bit of the last part of everything. This is our last slide, more or less. Repeatedly, I have stated that branding your business is crucial to getting suppliers. So to wrap this up, we're going to play a game. Please raise any hand. Everyone ready? Awesome. So if you've been approached by a supplier via your website, keep your hand up. If you've been approached by a supplier on any social media platform, keep your arm raised. Finally, if you've had a supplier reach out to you via your eBay store or your LinkedIn, keep it high in the sky. After I established myself as a reputable company, I have had potential suppliers and wholesalers approach me via my contact us on my website. That is why it's so important. It gives an avenue for suppliers and people to reach out to you. It's why you should have a contact us page on your website and a way of people being able to find you directly, not through another platform. This is really crucial to finding suppliers and having suppliers find you. 3 weeks ago, a reputable seller platform recruited me to be part of their B2C program. When I asked the B2C North America client manager how they found my company, she simply said, I was shopping for a bag on eBay and I looked at one of your listings and I knew you'd be a perfect fit for our platform. That's how I was recruited because my store looked legitimate. As a reminder, I am a part-time seller, and as of right now, I have less than 100 items actively listed in my store. I can assure you, more of you have more active items, more of you work harder than me, and are likely to be more focused. But these suppliers and platforms have reached out to me for a lot of reasons. And every time I've asked, it's the same answer. We are looking for reputable, or we're looking for legitimate companies to sell to like yours. Your website and business are very beautiful. We want to work with companies like you. I have literally heard these things and I have the receipts to prove it. When you brand your business, other businesses will want to work with you. I'm sharing this information to not brag, but hammer in the idea that developing this aspect of your business is crucial to its growth and development. The best example I can give is the movie Pretty Woman. Vivian goes into the high-end store, and though she has a lot of money, they don't help her because they don't think she does based on how she looks. She changes her clothing, and in the end, she comes back to own the moment to tell the employees she is the same person. This happens to us in real life when interacting with people, so we shouldn't be surprised it happens to us online. It's up to us to change the narrative and fix our branding to be sure we get recruited by the right people. To finalize all of this and hopefully make you think a bit, I want you to take a step back and think about the last 30 minutes. This presentation has showcased how to develop your branding, develop your trademark personality, and establishing yourself and your messaging to your potential customer and to suppliers. Also consider how I branded my company, my slogan, fun, unique, and chic, and my imaging, how they all line up together. Now imagine in 6 months, you and I sit down after you work on this and we have a chat about your company. Think to yourself, what will your messaging tell me about you? Thank you for your time. And if you have more questions or want to connect, you can find me on all major social media platforms and my website. But by now, you should definitely be able to find me. Enjoy the rest of Open.